Great morning. Oh, chilly willy out there in the 20s today. Burr, burr, burr. Oh, so today I think I'm going to pull cards and I want to ask what is going to be Trump's end point when all is said and done. When all is said and done, what is going to be his end point? Okay, well, the very center of it, surrounding everything, is being cut. Okay, his financials being cut, I think his health being cut, his reputation being cut. And yeah, I can see that happening. So let's see what we have above it. Okay. Above it, we have, it didn't work out for him. Okay. Whatever seeds he sowed, the harvest is crap now. Okay. The foundation is nightmare scenarios for him. Mental, a lot of mental drama. Okay. So what's going on, surrounding this, now it's about, this could be either about his properties or his bid for the White House, but let's see what else we have now. Above it, we have those supporters looking away. They're looking off in the other direction, not forward, they're looking backwards. Okay? And I think this has to do with the evangelical realm, is leaving him in the dust now. So in the past, we have the younger ones. They're going to be moving forward. Okay. Feeling a bit tied up. And with new ideas. When it comes to aiding him for the White House, etc., or it could also be his wonderful family, the young guys going towards the real estate market and things that were happening, feeling tied up mentally, and just with any kind of idea that they want to come up with. It's not going well for them. The challenge is what's being held to. And I think in this case it may be the financials, etc. With the history, I'm getting Deutsche Bank, okay? With the promise of money, promises, the history, what they're holding on to. Well, let's look at the outcome. The outcome of all this is, the financials, the house, contracts, okay. Above it, we have, the woman holding the power of the action when it comes to sharing. So he's, there's arguments with that. Let's see what's driving it. Underneath of it all, what's driving it is the arguments, the stress, light on the fact that he is just laid low. He has retreated, also mental retreating. He is losing it mentally, okay? They're not going to talk with him anymore. They're not going to see him. They're not going to talk with him. They're not going to engage him when it comes to any sort of message about an action in his world, because we have come up on judgment now with it, with everything that's come out, the witnesses, all the talk. and the heavy things going forward for his long term is just, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so yeah, when we have the major arcana underneath of this, we'll look, we have shedding light on his world, and judgment has come down. Okay, that's the whole of the major arcana there. That he's under judgment now. Okay, when it comes to him, what we have here, we'll break it down as well. The harvest, not a good harvest, and we have the woman that's holding on to the financial things. I think this is the banks, etc. Mentally, it's a lot of nightmare scenario, being tied up when it comes to any kind of new ideas in place. He's been retreated. People don't want to talk with him because they've seen the testimony of what happened with him, kind of on the outs when it comes to sharing, okay, about anything. And the stability of the real estate, they're arguing with him with the message of any action. You know, they come in with a club and said, yeah, forget it, okay? So the four corners of it, we have tied up, we have the woman of power, and when it comes to sharing with any kind of new ideology. So he could, you know, try, but nothing is going to happen. Because again, in the center of it, we have these things being cut. When it comes to his properties, etc., we have the Deutsche Bank that's holding on to this stuff. Above it, we have, again, the failed things, the harvest, and the nightmare scenario surrounding it. And again, if we start with the property at the center, the young men have cut this. He's lost any sort of viability for the presidency with the evangelicals. Again, they're looking at his losses, you know, that they had put this guy on a pedestal as such a great businessman, and now they're seeing all of his losses. And they're tied up with this and just like, no, this is not somebody we can support any longer. When it comes to the banks or the money people supporting him any longer, the larger support could be his donators as well. They're going crosswise again. This is a nightmare scenario when it comes to giving him anything. That what's coming out, being shared now, are all his losses and the history of the promises he made and the lies concerning money, and that is cutting anything to do with his real estate market, etc. So he is basically screwed in every way that you can think you would be screwed. Okay, again, the foundation, the evangelicals, and the promises they had with him. Forget it. That's done. They're not buying into his stuff anymore. What's cut at the center of it is any of his young men going forward with the housing market. So it's finished for Eric, it's finished for Donnie Dark Jr., okay? And we have the history of this. It goes this way, actually. They're looking away from him now because of the history. At the center of it, we have, again, breaking it down. This is either, and I think this works both ways, for his bid for the presidency, the financiers are looking away from it, or when it comes to real estate market, Deutsche Bank also is going to hold on to the assets. Okay. The foundation of it is the nightmare scenario when it comes to any kind of new ideas he's going to try to put out there. Okay, so it's not going to work well. Any kind of idea he tries to float is going to backfire, because the seeds he sowed, the harvest, they are feeling tied up when it comes to any kind of woman of action. And I think this comes to the large donors, or dealing with Deutsche Bank, etc., which were the only ones that were going to loan him money any longer. Okay? Yeah, same thing. Obstacles, arguments, strong difficulties they've dealt with him, and it's ending, and that's the key, because of all the information coming out that's eaten away at this. So again, it's selling the tail under here of Deutsche Bank with the contracts and saying, you know, we want our properties back. We need to recoup, what you've done. So mentally, he's going to be broken, physically broken, and financially broken. That's the end point for Donald J. Trump.